everybody, it is Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Alas, it's another beautiful day out here today. Oh my goodness, the temperature is maybe 75. I've been enjoying it all day, but it's now time to get in and see what's on the desk. Boy, do we have a project on the desk today. A lot of moving parts. My desk almost isn't big enough to hold it. But anyway, we are going to do a 5-strand, what I call my personal description is a Southwest or Native American crossover piece. So it's got a little bit of Native in it, but yet a little bit of Celtic with the crosses. So I'm going to tell you what you got to have, and we'll get started. Okay, this is what you're going to have. First of all, you got to have a clasp that has 5 rings on it, as you can see right here, 5 rings. Okay, you're going to need some 6.0 or 5.0 black seed beads. You will need some 8.0 turquoise seed beads. You will need 6 pieces of bone, and these are 3.5 inches long each. You can use horn as well. If you want to use a 1-inch piece of bone instead of something this long, that is your decision as a designer. So anyway, okay, you're going to need several of these. They are 6mm copper beads. You'll need a bunch of those. You're going to need some rondelles in a turquoise color, and these are 6x4mm right here. And then the crosses that you're looking at here are 15mm across. That's how big these are. And then this strand right here is 5mm. Now, the crosses and the turquoise and this is all magnesite stone. Magnesite is normally this color right here, this ivory color. It is a beautiful, beautiful stone that will take color amazingly. And so a lot of things that are being made now are being made out of magnesite stone. In all different colors, and turquoise color is one of the most popular. They also use howlite stone, which is white with a gray matrix in it, and they also use that in a myriad of ways. What I like about the magnesite stone is that it's ivory, whereas the howlite is more white with gray, and the magnesite is more ivory with a brown, chocolate brown matrix in it. So all of these, including the seed beads and the rondelles and the crosses, all of that came from Fire Mountain. I've seen these crosses on there fairly regularly, so all of that came from Fire Mountain. This strand of magnesite beads came from Michael's, the 5mm. And the bone here that I got came from Crazy Crow. And as well as the copper beads all came from Crazy Crow. That's it's a Native American frontiersman kind of explorer kind of store. And they're in, I believe, in Texas, but you can purchase online from them. Okay, so this is, oh, and you're going to have some crimps and crimp covers, obviously, to connect all this stuff, but that's it in a nutshell. So let me go get a cup of coffee and get my head wrapped around it, and we'll get started. Woohoo! All right, I got my coffee. I am ready to roll here. Okay, and I forgot to tell you, you do need some medium AccuFlex or Softflex beading wire. Medium. Okay. Woo! Yeah. Okay. So, uh, a lot of Native American or Southwest styles are multiple strands of patterns, just like the chokers, which we will be doing some of those here just shortly in the future. But a lot of them are very symmetrical patterns, and there's just a lot of counting and um, checking and checking off, as I say, because you can get halfway down a strand and it be these little 8.0s or something like this, or 10.0s or 11.0s, and then all of a sudden you're going, oh snap, you know, so you have to start all over again. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to work one side at a time, and work my way down. Actually, I may start in the middle, which this right here is going to be the middle section of the whole necklace. So I'm actually probably going to start here and then work my way up this way. Now, what I'm planning on doing is I know I said a 5 strand and you only see 3 here. But what I've decided to do is with this particular clasp right here, I am going to do the outside, the middle, and the outside on the far other side with the crosses and the bone. So crosses and bone will be outside, middle, outside. The 2 inside strands right here are going to be nothing but seed beads, pretty much going through in between these 2 strands will be seed beads. So we're going to do a turquoise section here, a black section here, and then some turquoise going down this way. So, is everybody ready? Now, I will say this. I told you the majority of all of this came from Fire Mountain, except for this Crazy Crow, and then the 1 strand of magnesite I got from Michael's. But I am probably 100% sure that Fire Mountain also has that other strand of magnesite, the 5 millimeter. They carry quite a bit of magnesite, and yeah, so I would just look there too. Um, the Anyway, there's just a lot of moving parts here, so we're going to get started on it. We're going to go slow, and yeah, let's go. All right, I've decided to make this about a 30-inch necklace, so make sure you can do yours shorter if you want to, or longer if you want to. But 30 is going to hit below the bust line, and that's how I kind of want it to kind of fall in the front. So I'm real excited about this. Okay, so I'm going to start with the middle first, and all I'm doing is just stringing the magnesite on there. And I've got 18 rows of this. "18 pieces of magnesite." Let me put it that way. Maybe that's a little easier way to do it. I love designing the Southwest Native American look. I love it. This is how I was taught. Um, when we get ready to do the chokers here in a little bit, um, you can buy kits if you want to, but it's just better if you do it the right way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. So that's my centerpiece for one of the strands right there. I'm going to pull that down a little bit. And I'm going to move some of this stuff over so I can work right here a little closer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the inside strand here because it's going to be the actual shorter strand. So I'm going to start here first. And I've got a copper bead, a magnesite bead, a black bead, all right, I think that's correct. Let me process it just for a minute to make sure I'm not making a mistake. Hold on. Okay, yes, it was correct. I reversed something down here just to see if I like the pattern better. And sometimes you'll do something and all of a sudden you go, I think that ought to be switched. And just stop and do it and look at it and see if you like it or not. And if you do, rock on. If you don't, then go back to your original plan. But anyway, around, you know, it's a personal preference. All right, I'm almost up to the bone here, working this little section. This is going to be absolutely stunning. I am so excited about this. There's just a lot of pieces to it and a lot of moving parts. And, you just got to take your time. Do not get in a hurry, because if you get in a hurry, you will make a mistake. Ooh, as I have done so many times. Well, so much for my singing. I used to sing years ago, but I didn't keep the muscle up. So, okay, so I'm here at the bone, the section of the horn, the buffalo horn here. And I went ahead and continued this pattern right through here. I'm going to flank the buffalo horn with the copper. That's the next thing I'm going to do because I want the buffalo horn to stand out. And it is large, so it will stand out for sure. But I want it to be decorative looking, pretty looking. Um, if you've never shopped at Crazy Crow and you like doing Southwestern styles, you need to go check them out. They are a fantastic place to get product. Now you can see this little section right here. If you're not paying attention, your moving parts are going to be south. I'm just going to, yeah. So anyway, okay, so we're going to put a piece of turquoise there and another black bead. And then we're coming up this side right here. And on this side, we're just going to do the black beads and the crosses all the way up. I love these magnesite crosses. I did a friend of mine a pair of earrings out of them, and I'm telling you what, they are fantastic. And magnesite is so affordable. I mean, it's so affordable. And you can get it in a myriad of colors, reds and blues and purples and turquoises, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful, versatile stone. Okay, so I've got the whole side done of the left or right side, whichever way you want to look at it. I don't know if you can see there where we're going. It's kind of long, so this is the middle. Is that not beautiful? Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. I am so excited. So that's the middle. That's what it's going to kind of hang like. Yes. Okay, I'm going to bead this other side and then I'll be back. All right, here's our first strand. If you can see, it's pretty long here, but I'm trying to get it all in the camera. Look how beautiful. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my, look at this. You know, and the cool thing is being able to do this with the magnesite stone will make it affordable for your customers, unless you have customers that are, you know, pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a piece of your jewelry, which is fantastic. If you're one of those, bless you. But if you're not one of those, but yet you want to give your customer the turquoise look without the cost of it, this is the way to go. And look how beautiful. I cannot wait to get this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bead the next two strands that are identical to this one. And oh, I was going to tell you, if you're, because I forgot to tell you before. Up here at the top, there's six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the white, and then the turquoise here. Now, you can do this exact same design, not using crosses. You can just use regular stones, just round stones or square stones or oval stones, and do the exact same design with something completely different. And it'll have a totally different look than this. But total stones down to the bone here are 7 on each side. And then my piece of bone here, or horn, buffalo horn. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 crosses down here at this bottom level right here. Now I have 4 right here. And then I have 18 pieces of magnesite right in here, the little rondelles. Okay, so that's where I'm at with it. I am going to, like I said, I'm going to do these 2 strands on either side, and then we'll be back to work on those 2 middle ones that are odd. Alrighty, here is where we are at this juncture. Oh my, oh my. This is amazing. I am stoked about this necklace. Oh my. So what I'm getting ready to do now is the strand that goes in between here and the strand that goes in between here to make the 5 strand. That's what I'm getting ready to do. However, I'm trying to decide now if I want my bone pieces to be even across, in other words, lined up like this, or do I want them staggered? So I've got a decision I'm going to have to make here, and I'm not sure which one I like. So, if I'm gonna stagger them, I'm gonna leave it the way it is, and then take out the extra even out the crosses here, where I can take a few out here and add them there. If I'm going to make, if I'm going to stagger them, that's what I'm doing. If I'm going to make it even like this, then I got another ball of wax going on. But in all honesty, I kind of like them staggered, because it gives a little interest, and it's not quite as symmetrical as, you know, what you're used to seeing. So I'm thinking at this juncture, I think I'm going to leave them staggered like they are. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm probably going to take off a couple of these crosses here at the top right here and add them to the outside, just to bring everything up where it's kind of the same across. And then I'm going to start with the turquoise, these guys right here. And I'm going to start at the top here, and I'm going to just bead all the way down till I get to this copper bead. I cannot tell you how many beads that is. You're just going to have to feel it out. When I get to this copper bead, I'm going to change to black. And I'm going to bead black right in here, and then I'm going to go back here and go into the turquoise again, around, and then black, and then back into the turquoise. So it'll look like a kind of a section of black. Now, you know, with anything, when you get rolling on it, you have sometimes you'll have a different idea. Oh man, I ought to do that instead. Then do that. Don't hold yourself to something because you saw somebody do it. All right. You might be beating along here and go, oh man, I need to put this in there instead of that. Well, then do that. That's what makes it yours. Okay, get my head around all these little beads I got to string. Whoa, my eyeballs are going, help, help. Be back in a minute. Well, let's see where we are on this project. Okay, to expedite some time, I went ahead and did the small beading because, you know, you're going to get bored watching me string all these things like this. But anyway, this is our inside strand right here. So it will actually be the shortest strand. It's the inside strand. And I've got it laid out pretty smooth where it would look like it was on the necklace once the clasp is put on. So I went up here to the top and I added my round magnesite because I wanted the white to come up. And then I added 7 of the big black 6.0, 5.0 beads there. Okay, so I did the same on both sides. And then once I beaded this, because remember I told you I wanted the black to kind of match the bone, so you'd have a concentration of black right in the center. And then I came down here and I added just one little tiny black bead before we went into this loop right here. And I'll do that as well on the other strand that's going to be like this. The other strand is going to be identical to this, the filler strand. It will be absolutely identical to that. Okay. So when you're working these things, because this clasp here, you know, all the rings are where they are, and then you've got the actual clasp part where it hooks right here. So when you get up to this part, you want this to be smooth going around the neck. So you wouldn't want to put something like this going up there. You want something kind of smooth that's going to lay flat to the neck as it comes up to the clasp. All right. Now, the other thing is, too, I laid this down here just so you could have a little bit of a visual. So hang on just a second. Let me pull this down just a little bit more in the frame without moving everything up. Okay. I think Ken can zoom in on that right there. So the inside is this strand. The second one is that strand. Then I've got another of the big chunky ones, and then another one of these skinny ones going here, and a chunky one going on the outside. But you can kind of see how close they're going to be together on the clasp itself. So pretty daggone close. You can see right there. They're going to be almost like that on top of each other. So it's important that you do this where it's fitting smoothly, and all of these will meet appropriately there. The one thing that I do, and it's simple, but as you're going, because this second strand's got to drop below the first one, so I added an extra bead on this. This one's 7, this one's 8. Now, once I get rolling on it, I may have to add one more bead on this and this end, 9 instead of 8. But once I get this on the strand and I see how it lays, then you'll know whether to add an extra bead or not up here on the top. If you don't add the extra bead up here on the top, this strand right here is going to lay directly on top of this one. If you want that effect, it's great. There are necklaces done exactly like that, and they look fantastic. So it's up to you as to what you want to do with yours, but I want mine stacked. I don't want them on top of each other. I want them stacked. So that's why I'm very careful how many bead counts I have up here on the top. Okay, So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bead the second strand like this, exactly like this, and then we'll come back and look at it again. Alrighty. Oh, look where we are on this project. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Y'all, I saw this kind of in my head and I was like, wow. I actually had seen something as I was scrolling online looking for something else, and a photograph went by of a necklace that was multi-stranded, and I thought, wow, man, I need to do a multi-stranded necklace with the buffalo horn. And so this is what triggered this whole design right here. And so I'm so excited about it. Right now it looks like a raceway with cars on it. But anyhow, so I've got all the strands together here, and you can kind of see it's pretty large, so Ken will have to go back and forth here. But anyway, you can see how the concentration of the turquoise color is here, and it gets lighter and then dissipates out as it goes up. And that was kind of my what I had in mind, because I wanted the visual for your eye to have something to do when you're looking at this piece. So anyway, so everything's set, ready to go. I'm up here on the top. Let me move this down just a hair. And so I'm up here on the top, and I've got my uh, seed beads all lined up here with extra. So we've got, I think there's 11 here, 10, 9, 8, and 7. So the next thing we're going to do is put the clasp on, and I'm going to start with, like I said, the inside strand, because that will be the shortest, and then we can make our adjustments as we're going out to see if we need to add more beads up here to make the stack the way it should be. So that's the next thing we're doing. Oh my, let me get my head around it. Alrighty, we're starting the assembly and we're almost done. So I've started the first strand here on the inside because it's the shortest. Remember, I've already put it on there with my crimp cover. Remember when you're putting on your crimps and crimp covers, make sure you leave a little room in here for this to breathe. Don't pull it in so tight that this can't move. All right, you want this to be able to breathe. It's less wear and tear on the wire that you're using, and it also makes the necklace more fluid. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm making sure I don't have any uh, excess wire in here. I'm making sure all the spacing in my beads is correct. And I always pick things up and kind of shake them a little bit and let them fall. You can see how much distance there was right there between my clip and the bead. That's how much excess wire was in the necklace that you didn't see. So it's always good to shake her down just a little bit, but make sure you don't get it so tight that the beads crimp. You don't want that. So, all right. I'm trying to make sure I don't have any crimps in there. Like, see, like this right here. This is a good example. See how this sticks up right here? It's not laying flat like these on the palette. That's sticking up. And if you'll look right here, this one is sticking up. That means the tension in the necklace is too tight. So I've got it a little too tight, so I need to air it out some. Move it down just a little bit, and I'm just going to move it with my fingers, being mindful of what you just put on here. You don't want anything going in there that's going to be showing. All right, so that did it. That aired it out just a little bit right there. I can air it out just a little more right up here. And all I'm doing is I'm just gently doing this with my hand to let the beads come on down and shift on the wire on their own. And I'm making the curve, coming up this way just a little bit. Right, okay, I'm going to move my little crimpy thing down just a little bit to make sure they have room to move. And there it is. Okay. That way you can see there's nothing buckling. Everything's laying flat on the pallet. And that's what you want. That means your tension is right. You don't have any kind of excess in there of wire. Okay, so I've already got this first one on right here. It's the inside strand, so it's the inside hook right here. And I'll put my crimp on here and my crimp cover. And I put a little accent bead right there just to give it a more finished look. Oh, that one's got a little bullet thing inside there. All right, it goes on this one. All right, I'll move it a little more to the center now that I got it going here. And as always, pull it down to the thing, but leave some room in there. All right, and we're going to crimp mash it, and then fold it. And these are stainless steel crimps, so they are strong, strong, strong. Takes a pretty good hand grip to mash it. Okay, so I'm going to run the excess wire down to about right here just to reinforce this in case, if any reason, something were to break in the future. It's less likely that the person's going to be doing a 152 bead pickup. Okay, so and also I had someone commented on one of my things about this particular thing, and the way she does hers is she puts everything on her crimp and everything and then runs the wire back through. That's perfectly fine. You can do it any way you want to. This right here works for me, so this is the way I'm doing mine. You can do yours any way you want to. There's no right or wrong to it. It's just how does it work for you? It's like your hands. When I used to teach classes in my shop, the one thing I always told people, I said, you've got to get used to how your hands work. That's because not everybody does things the same. You've got left-handed people, right-handed people, and some people's dexterity is a little different with their fingers, and so they're going to work a little differently. So be patient with yourself, and that's how it rolls right there. Almost done. There it is right there. All right, come on out of there. All right, there it is. I'll pull this in right here. I'm going to clip this as close to the bead as I can. All right. And then the last thing I will do is put my crimp on right here. The crimp cover, rather. And just remember, when you're putting these crimp covers on, just go slow, because if you crimp mash them too quickly, they will get whoppy jaw on you. They'll turn sideways. So you got to do it very slowly. You want to make sure it closes up with no rough edges on it. And that's that one. Cool. Yep, smooth as glass. All right, so we've got our inside strand done right here. So the next strand I'm going to put on is going to be that single strand of beads going around this way, and it'll be the next one out. And then another chunky one in the middle, another skinny strand, and then another chunky one on the outside. And then we're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do those just to expedite time for the video, and I'll be back. Okay, so I want to show you the progress of where I'm at, just so we can kind of keep rolling here. I am getting ready to attach the third strand, the one that's in the middle on both sides. And you can see this is working out beautifully right here, just like it was supposed to. Remember I told you I had 7 beads here, I added 8 there, I added 9 here, the next one has 10, and the last one has 11. And that causes everything to fall exactly the way it's supposed to down here on this end. Let me pull this down just a hair. Yeah, you can see how it's all just right here, just one right in the middle there. That's exactly the way it's supposed to do. I am stoked about this. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving right along. Almost done. Well, guys, we are done. Oh my goodness. I was going to show you the top up here. Look at this. We are finished. Look at the beauty of how that turned out at the top. I am so excited about this, and I tried it on a second ago, and wow, just wow, just wow. I am so excited about this project. Yes. I hope you guys are also excited about whatever it is you're working on. And yeah, this will be in the shop. So I will see you guys on the next project. Bye.